Hey guys, this is Michael Curtis, and today we're going to take a look at how not to destroy your plugins or your mixes or masters. And the digital world has afforded us a very flexible environment to record audio in. We don't have to worry about tape hiss or noise floor. I mean, there's so much headroom available that it's really easy to get nice balanced sounding recordings without worrying about noise. But it seems like most people are ignoring that fact. A lot of the mixes I get to master are already super loud, and many tracks that have been recorded are almost peaking too. It seems like most of the time when I open up a session, I'm having to turn things down. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate how having super loud input information in the digital world is actually hurting your mixes and your plugins. So I've set up a little test. Over here on the left, my source is a test oscillator, and it's going at 100 hertz. So it's going to play in this constant tone. You're not going to be hearing anything. I have the master turned down, but here that is. So it is being routed to two buses. One's called pushed and one's called regular. So what I did for the pushed one is at the beginning, I boosted that signal 6 dB. And then after this plugin, which I'll talk about in a second, I brought it back down 6 dB. So it should be back to 0. So on this one, I do nothing as far as gain goes. So +6, -6 cancel each other out, but they're both going through this plugin. And this VUMT Duo is a metering plugin that we can use for here. So on the push channel, the oscillator, the level is sitting right at -12. That's where I have it calibrated here. And on the regular is sitting at -18. So right after it hits the plugin, this is the level. So the plugin I have here is Slate's, their Neve. And right now everything's zeroed out. Nothing's being boosted, nothing's being cut. It's simply running through the circuit. So this circuit has some inherent distortion, like a Neve does, just from passing audio, but it's meant to accept a certain level. But on this plugin, there isn't a meter, so nothing's telling us that this is too high or this is the right level or not. Most Slate digital plugins are calibrated right at the box to sit at -18 or -16, depending how you really set it. But what happens when you hit a plugin super hard that's emulated after analog gear is that it starts to saturate in an unpleasing way. Again, we're not going to hear anything today, but what I did is I have the same EQ inserted over here, the Neve, with no boosts, no cuts. And so this is what the natural harmonics are being added from it being pushed. Do we see here? So this is our fundamental 100 hertz. This gain plugin I have here is inverting the polarity of one of them. So if I have the signal unaffected, not hitting either plugin, then simply invert the polarity of one, we get complete cancellation. So that's complete and total phase cancellation. So now we have no signal coming out here over the bus. And this is where I have span. It's measuring what's kind of coming out. So let's say I mute this one and have the other back on. Here we go. There's our 100 hertz test oscillation cycle going on there. So let me go ahead and gauge the Neve over here. So we see that harmonic distortion. But let me make both sides the same. So let me unmute this and engage this Neve as well. So before, when we had both going on, we had complete digital cancellation. They're completely out of phase with one another, so we had them gone. But look, we still have some not really natural looking distortion going on. There's nothing really even or what looks like the original harmonic saturation curve. And so here up top, this is the noise that's inherent in the circuit, but this is the distortion going on. So it's not pleasing, it's not really adding anything, but all it is me having the signal hitting at -12 instead of -18. -12 isn't all that hot. I know this is, I guess, RMS since it's a constant thing, but having a mix at sitting at -12 RMS is, I mean, it's fairly hot, but most CDs or anything released on iTunes or whatever is usually sitting around anywhere from -10 to sometimes -6, sadly. But so in our mixes, we need to keep the same mentality that we need to have things live at -18, where digital, I guess the equivalent of analog 0 is in this environment. So if we take away this gain plugin, and this one, some things are nice and happy again, when they combine, actually, sorry, here we go. So when they combine again, without them being pushed together, they still cancel. So with it being pushed, +6, -6, it cancels out. Here we have this unpleasing saturation that's going on. So this is the same for almost any plugin that emulates an analog piece of gear. The people who created it, like Brainworks, Slate, Waves, whoever, goes down to the component level to make sure every piece of it is hitting it the way it should. And so when it gets pushed too hard, it's going to saturate. Some people like pushing stuff really hard. They like the sound the sound that comes out of it. I can think of Darren King from Mute Math the Drummer. He pushes his API preamps beyond belief and gets a really cool sound. But especially in mastering on getting mixes, the point isn't to saturate and get something to blow up. It's for a plugin to do its job, even if it is emulating an analog piece of gear and adding some vibe to it. So anyway, takeaway you can take from this is that don't be afraid to use a gain plugin or a clip gain if you're in Pro Tools to bring things down. Have most things living around -18, whether it's your kick drum peaking there or your vocal averaging there. Your plugins will thank you for it. They won't distort as much, and you'll get more accurate, cleaner sounding mixes. Hope this helps. You can email me Michael at mkcmusic.net or visit the blog at mkcmusic.net/blog. Thanks.